This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
From what day you may find out, certain people not like me. Everyone got us bag a thing now. Next to me I do it like Nike, but me not fear no guy now. No matter how hard them a spite me, me just a go and do me thing now. Me just a do it like Nike. 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 Me just a do it like Nike.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, ESC Distributors Limited, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Fun Foods Wholesale, the IAAF Road Relays Bahamas, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Tropical Gyros.
Plus me and the Cuban a link up. Rose gold for the Cuban link up. How much ice just a and me rings up. From what day you may find.
You've got it locked and loaded to the April 10th, the Wednesday, April 10th edition in your company right up until 6 p.m. Pearlie will be joining us in short order. And yes, I have a studio full of guests on this great day, this momentous day, anniversary day for Guardian. And for me personally, let me tell you, about 12 years ago, the same time they were doing Guardian Radio, I got the great opportunity to do the first broadcast for Hot 91.7. So I've been in this building for a minute. And you know me, I leave, I come back, I leave, I come back. That's how I go. I get around. But at the end of the day, I'm glad to be back and on this side of the microphone, because obviously we had a great run in the morning. But when you got a family at home, and you got two sons growing up, the morning hours get a little brutal. So props to Dwight. You can have all the morning hours from here on out. I love this 4 to 6 shift. I'm so glad, Guardian gave me the opportunity to transition from morning radio into talk radio. So I'm glad to be here. 2 years. March 28th made 2 years. I didn't even know when time flies when you're having fun. And like Spike Lee always says, if you can make a living doing what you love, then you win. So I'm a winner. And Guardian's a winner too. 12 years, man, just holding it down, doing big things. Congrats to everybody who made it happen 12 years ago, right up until now, or all who've been a part of getting it to where it needs to be. And obviously, we're going to do our best to take it where it needs to go. And I have guests in studio, obviously, because today, is a momentous day. I'm no stranger to Talking Heads. And listen, when I make this intro now, you all calm yourself down. All y'all who've been texting me for weeks and months and the longest, when MJ coming to the show? When MJ coming on? We'd like to hear you in person. My co-host today, my very special co-host, the big part of Talking Heads, just as much as I am, from its original inception till now, my better half, MJ. Well.
Hello.
Ain't seen you in a little while.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. And what a day I chose to come and hang out with you.
Listen,
I didn't
Chef Carmel has been
realize
going on all day and says it has nothing to do with anniversary. It's all about the Tropical Gyros van down there. You come to see him in the gyro van.
That too.
And I don't want the chef to feel deluded. Yeah, chef, we here for you too.
Yes, but I really did pick an amazing day to come. I do also want to say congratulations to the whole team here at Guardian Radio, because I remember, because I was with you back at Hot 91 back in the day, and to think that 12 years have passed, that feels so crazy. Like, where did the time go? But we're here. You guys are getting bigger and better. So congratulations to all of the hosts, to Dwight, who does a great job as well. And of course, we wish you many, many more years of success, because you guys are doing an awesome job.
Thank you. And it's already started. Who just texted me? Y'all calm down. This is a one-off right now. Just calm down. Y'all keep texting right by the end of the day. We might have something to work with elsewise. But yeah, just enjoy it while it's here. And another guest that I'm so glad to have in studio with me today, and we'll be having a great conversation with, no stranger to the show in both, locations, Miss Arinthia Komalafe. And see, I said the name right. You have to check me on the name right.
Always get the name right.
But you know, she always like to check me on it.
We difficult name people.
Us, you know, Zoe Casalaya and Komalabi, we got to stick together.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, it's good to be here, and it's so good to see MJ, the real MVP. You don't have a problem with that.
No, I listen. I know. I can take it. You know.
Yeah. That's the real MVP. It's good to be here. It's been years. It's been a moment, and it's always a pleasure to sit down and talk to the two of you. While since I've spoken, so of course coming on my first. I know, right? And we're excited. We're very thankful that you're taking time out of your schedule to hang with us today, especially, when so many things are happening in the country. There's no secret that I've always said that you have one of the brilliant minds, and you're such a great contributor in terms of ideas that we need to move the country forward. So it's always good to have you. See?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come to Talking Heads without MJ being here.
Well, that was
no Talking Heads without MJ.
Yeah, bragging about this all the way home today. And Pearlie gonna remind me about it. Then the taxis and the callers gonna be, y'all know what y'all doing. But it's true, though. I mean, if that's what it took to get you here, then it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Now, we got a caller lined up already, but let me let you know how to chime in, because we will take a break. And obviously, Dwight will pop in at any time. We celebrating today. So whenever he pops in, we can be chopping it up as well. But you know how to chime in, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. In New Providence, lines are open. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720. Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969. BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk, all day. Right here at Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Now, with that being said, let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. All right, call us back, caller. And turn your radio down next time when you call back, because it's a little bit of an echo. But like I said, we got lots to talk about, so we're going to take the first break. We got the caller? All right, just hit us back, caller. All right, we'll be opening up the lines in short order, and we'll be taking text. So with that being said, we'll take the first break, and we will continue our conversation and get into a great conversation with Miss Orinthia Komalafi, and, of course, my special guest host today, MJ. Every time I say the name, y'all keep blowing up the text. Calm down. We're going to make this work. Keep it right where you got it. Great show coming up on the flip side of the break. Keep it right where you got it.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience you want to recreate again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done well. You're welcome into their home at Naughty Johnny's, where you can dine on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday nights, or brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's, well worth the trip.
Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your gal. Come witness history in the making at the 2024 World Athletic Relays Chase the Sun, Paradise to Paris, happening here in Nassau, Bahamas. Hundreds of the best runners from more than 40 countries will compete for their place in the 2024 Paris Olympics, May 4th and 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets early at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre
Nice to meet you, Jazz. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an independent 27-year-old manager who wants her own home with her own rules.
Sounds good. I'll help you get there.
We see you, the go-getter, with big plans, and we've been keeping you in mind. Follow your goal home with a mortgage from CIBC Caribbean, and don't bother about your home insurance, as we'll help with that and more. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more info. Conditions apply.
Are you ready for the best of the best? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, Alpha Sound Promotion, and Guardian Radio presents the best of the best Rake and Script Explosion Concert. Mark your calendars for May 11th as Super Club Breezes grounds ignite with Bahamian talent featuring KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, The Brylanders, Avi, Elon Moxie, and Shine 242.
Right now I feel like whining.
Join the Falcons, Iron Store, Sylvie Pierre, Johnny Cake, Mama D, Nishi LS, Pat Ramis, Stevie S, and Shad Colley and the VIPs for an electrifying night of music and culture. Tickets are flying, so grab yours now. Available online at BahamaZTickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road. This is the event of the year. The best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion at Breezes Resorts. Gates open at 6 p.m. Don't miss out on the Bahamian Magic.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We BIMS.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Enjoy the flavors of summer with a mega-sized KFC combo and get a secret code for a chance to win. KFC and Pepsi is giving away daily beach bundles of a KFC bag packed with KFC shades, a bucket of 25 KFC whole wings, and a 2-liter Pepsi, plus a weekly cash prize of $1,000. Whether it's original recipe, spicy, or barbecue, get your favorite KFC combo today and mega-size your summer fun. KFC Nassau, it's mega finger-licking good.
Attention ice cream lovers! Are you ready to elevate your springtime indulgence and taste of luxury with Haagen-Dazs? For a limited time only, treat yourself to the quality of Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99 per pint. Yes, you heard that right. Indulge in the finest flavors without breaking the bank. This exclusive offer is available at all Lickety Split and Super Value locations. Experience the premium quality of Haagen-Dazs at an unbeatable price. Spring has never tasted this good.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Talking Heads, we're back at you on the Wednesday, April 9th, April 10th edition of Talking Heads. And let's get to the phone line real quick. And let's get this one out there and then we'll get into our combo. Talking Heads.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, JJ?
I was there today. I didn't see you, man. I saw Dwight. I saw Candy Harvard. I saw Oral, but I came there latest. I got the 1-2-ish.
Yeah, man, but you know I don't creep in there until about 4 o'clock. If I go on at 4, you know, I get out a little like 4-ish, 4:10-ish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All I want to say.
You know I'm Bahamian time always.
I can set myself on Fox today. I saw the right time. And anyhow.
But you know you a big part, JJ. You've called over the years to many talk shows, man. You always got good opinions. You get fired up when you got to, and you stay on the plight of the small man in the inner city. For that, I respect you, my brother, and I always appreciate your contributions.
You know, all my life I was really man and praise. And don't come and spend over $10 million. I put it money. Then come to politics. I don't brag, and all these politicians and everything they do, they put posts and sharing off them, but nonsense. That many they ain't coming from the heart. But let me go back and find another. I called you yesterday, right? I must turn on my mobile Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi don't tell them breaking. We need to break up and put new management in there.
Still no Wi-Fi in the parks, JJ. I appreciate you chiming in, JJ. I got to get these other calls, man, but I appreciate you, brother. Still no Wi-Fi on the parks. Come on, man. And JJ goes to every park in the inner city. He don't just go to one. He's go to all. Come on, man. We got to get the internet on the parks, man. We've been talking about this far too long. Let's get to this other call real quick, and then we'll get into the show. Talking Heads. All right, caller. Just hang tight. We'll get right with you in a second. But, you know, glad to have you on. It's been a minute. I'm glad to know and very humbled to know that you came to Talking Heads for your first. So, basically, you know, what have you been up to? What are you up to now? Let's find out what's been going on.
Yeah, I'm very busy.
What's been going on?
I don't have a free moment. You know, of course, it was natural for me to come here. I just want to thank both of you and give my appreciation for the time and for the platform that you gave me during my time as the leader of the DNA and giving
With
the
pleasure.
DNA that voice.
Right.
And
with
being
pleasure.
able to speak about the national issues in a safe place.
Right.
And in a sensible way,
Right,
not
right.
with any sensationalism and everything. And so that's why it was the natural thing for me to come. And I understand that MJ came out of retirement.
Just for the day,
So I
just
am
for
very
you.
privileged, extremely privileged. And I'm glad to have you here. But I've been very busy. I did take a sabbatical. And after the 21 general election, it was 4 years serving in that capacity, almost 4 years as the leader, but it felt like 4 decades.
You can imagine.
And I was extremely tired after the general election. As a matter of fact, you see, my coordinator is here. He could tell you I was saying leading up to the election how tired I was. I was just extremely exhausted.
Right.
And so you can imagine my surprise after the election when I had so much time on my
Right.
hands and I didn't have to respond to the media and speak to this and speak to that. I almost felt guilty. I had to pinch myself a couple of times to realize if it was true, but it was good to be able to get that time to refresh. Because when you go through, you know, when you go through a challenge like that, you have to sit down and you have to refocus and you have to ask yourself, what are your priorities now? You know, what's the way forward? What are you going to do? What was the benefit out of what happened and what transpired?
Right.
You know, even though it didn't go as well as we would have liked for it to have gone. But, you know, one of the first things I did, I didn't waste any time. You know, I realized that I remembered that
Okay.
And I'd started that and I didn't get to finish it because I was so involved in public life and in the national discourse. And it was really a disappointing failure in my life, even though it wasn't a failure.
Right.
Because I got a postgraduate certificate for it, but that's not what I intended to get.
Right.
I intended to get an MBA. So I called my university straight away and I said, hey, can I complete this MBA? And it was like, yeah, of course, this is all you have to do, bam, 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 bam.
And did you do it?
I did.
Congratulations.
So that was September, I called them.
Wow.
And July of 2022, I was in Wales, in Cardiff, collecting my degree for the MBA. And that was just very satisfying for me. And on the way there, I took multiple professional courses too. Because I did some other professional certifications and compliance, something I wanted to do for years, and crypto assets and understanding the digital economy, because that's the future.
Right.
Regardless of what's going on with the crypto world, the whole software and everything that underlies that is
the
future.
infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure with the blockchain technology
Exactly.
and all of that. And so I got certified in that, and when you come off a major defeat like that, you need some wins.
So that was a win for you.
They were
Little
wins.
personal,
I was getting wins.
right? Wins and wins and
you know?
wins. Okay.
Yes. And then of course, mommy duty is always there.
Of course.
And so my children, they're all very active
Yes.
in sports, and we're a soccer family. We were primarily a soccer family, but just the year before they had gotten involved in track.
Okay.
So now they had the opportunity to have me to be, the queen's chauffeur, to be up and
I
down
gotcha.
with them and take them where they had to go. And, some good things came out of it. My eldest daughter, she made the national team for
Yes.
soccer.
Mhm.
And then my younger daughter, she made the Grifter team last year at 13. And then this year,
Amazing.
made it again.
Yes.
And was able to medal. And, my son is doing his soccer and
So
everything.
wins and wins and wins.
Wins upon wins. And when you do that, all the, the lost way,
Exactly.
they go in the distance.
Yeah.
But it was a good time for healing too. It was a good time for healing.
Which is what a lot of people did or had the opportunity to do during the pandemic, when everybody was home.
Absolutely.
But there were some of us that worked straight
Yes.
through it. So
I didn't
Tell me
get
about
the-
it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't get
Yeah,
the benefits of
opportunity.
the pandemic.
Right.
I told my husband that a couple of times. I said when everybody was just enjoying and Netflixing it
I
out.
know, right? You were working.
I had to be on it every day, press statements,
Right.
videos, and so that was my pandemic.
I know,
kind of
right?
little break
That was your
after
little
the
reprieve
election.
after all of the stress.
Yes, absolutely. And then, yeah.
Let's get to this phone call real quick. We got Pearlie in the building, and you don't have to ask your famous question, Pearlie. I think it's self-explanatory.
Yes, it is.
So let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking heads.
Golly Davis is this talking away so long with your panel, Naughty.
Hey, Brayman, what's going on, man?
We need justice, law, and order in the Bahamas here.
Amen.
Pearlie would say.
Pearlie. Brayman here and you, man.
I am in top shape. Doing really super. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm holding, thank God. Stay in top shape. Also, you, JJ, what's happening? Naughty.
I'm good, man. What's going on, Brayman? What you got for me today?
Let me ask you something. Now, only 2 ladies you have in there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, now I figure out which one is your wife. Hello, beautiful lady.
Hello. How are you?
I'm holding, thank God.
Be nice to Brayman. Brayman is bus going from time to time, right? Yeah, Brayman's got wild.
You my hygiene. You my hygiene. Naughty, congratulations. But what I want you all to do, right, to make sure when you're saying Guardian Radio, just don't say Guardian, because when I used to go to school, right, I used to sell Guardian. Well, I used to be the cleanest thing in school. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to sell Guardian and Tribune.
There you go.
So when you are saying Guardian, don't just say Guardian Radio. Say Guardian. Just say Guardian Radio, not only Guardian. You understand me?
Gotcha.
But Naughty, you are a beautiful show, man. You are a wonderful show.
I appreciate you, man.
Hey, Naughty got to be able to get out the building, you know.
I was just about to say I couldn't do it without Pearlie, but since you're gonna go there, but thank you.
Well, the thing is, Naughty, you're bringing the Bahamas together, whether you know it or not.
Well, I try, and I've always said that comedy brings us together. If we could always laugh at something, then take a step back, not take ourselves so seriously, especially politicians, then you can look at the landscape in front of you and say, you know what, we need to make some changes. We need to move forward in a positive direction.
And the thing is, you speak facts and truth. You see what I'm saying? And I don't talk to much people who speak facts and truth.
Well, I try my best. You're
a beautiful man. All the best.
I got you, man, and I'll take that in a no diddy kind of way, Raymond. I appreciate that, brother.
I knew it was coming.
That was coming.
I knew it.
But back to the conversation, like I said, with Miss Orinthia Komalapi, glad to have. Like I said, we got special guests host today, MJ. Pearlie in the building a little early, but I believe Tropical Gyros drug him in there.
No. Beautiful ladies dropped me here.
And then not to mention that there's pork gyro waiting on you downstairs. Chef got you covered. Chef got you covered now. Okay. All right, so we're continuing the conversation, and this is so ironic. And we just asked you one question about what you're up to now. Well, let me ask you, what's going on with the DNA? That's the text that's coming through. A lot of people asking.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the DNA. I think in 21, when I stepped down, I made it perfectly clear I was not only just resigning as the leader of the DNA, I was resigning from third-party politics. Third-party politics is very brutal. When I stepped down, there was a transition period. We had multiple things that we had to close up. I was taking on a lot of the financial responsibilities at that point in time. We had 2 headquarters, one that was on Robinson Road and another that was on Carmichael Road, and they were incurring cost. We had multiple post-mortem meetings after the general election to discuss what went wrong, what we could have done better, what was the way forward, what was the reality on the ground, particularly as it related to third parties and the DNA's stance. And that was also a period to give, every post-mortem I would let the team know that I was transitioning out.
Right.
And was moving forward, and that they needed to come together to get the funding if they wanted to at least keep one of the headquarters. Because that was the challenge that we had. Even when I took over, there was no headquarters. We had to start everything from scratch when I was the leader. When I became the leader, because I think the headquarters, we probably had it up to maybe a year after the general election in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we would have our meetings in the public school system, in public school facilities. So whatever transition needed to be done at that point in time, I turned those things over, all of the credentials for all of the social media pages. And, we were very active on social media.
That was one of the main places you guys used to get a lot of.
That was our battleground.
Right.
Of course, you learn that social media engagement doesn't necessarily translate
in
to people
real
going
world
out to vote.
Right.
Because we had a lot of good support from young people online. We used to get engagements higher than even the PLP and the FNM. But, that didn't translate when we went on the ground. We had to always be speaking to young people, encouraging them to come out. And as you can see, the voter turnout was low.
The turnout was low, and that was disturbing. But then there were some things that you could kind of rationalize. Okay, perhaps it was the pandemic. Maybe people were afraid. They didn't want to catch COVID. But I noticed that the numbers weren't that great in the recent by-election as well. So is this something that we need to be concerned about now, about the way Bahamians are turning out to these elections? Is this going to be a going concern for us as Bahamians?
I think we won't know until the next general elections, because there are multiple reasons why the turnout was low. There was a genuine concern. People did not want to contract COVID.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of persons that was, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of, for example, when we were canvassing, the PLP was very motivated. So their supporters were very motivated to come out.
Right.
Now, because basically, when you really think about the turnout, only 34% of the voting population voted for them. And the vast majority of that was their supporters who were voting in generational block.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they were coming up their base. They were coming up to those polls in generations.
Right.
If you were there, you would see that. I think a lot of FNM voters did not come out to vote. And some of the persons even went in the areas where I canvass. I just think that if they're not going to vote for the party, they don't want to vote against the party. But the unfortunate side to that is, if you don't vote for the party, you're effectively voting for the other person.
Right.
So there were some persons, some FNMs that did not come out. Enough of their base did not come out to help them. And then the independent bloc was just hardly nobody came out, right? Because when you look at all of the third parties combined, you still got less than the DNA when it first came out under Brand in 2012.
Right.
The DNA garnered some 13,000 votes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2021 general elections, all the third parties combined got less than that.
Yes.
Right. So the third parties, it was a race for third place.
Right.
At the end of the day, so it really didn't matter where anybody landed, because it was really a race between the PLP and the FNM. And I think at that point, persons who were undecided decided not to vote. So we won't know necessarily if there's apathy is the main reason why this turnout was like that.
Right.
The by-election, I don't even think it's a gauge either, because typically Bahamians, if there's nothing to gain from it.
Right.
We see that with referenda.
Yeah.
If people don't like to come in midterm to vote.
Right.
We're not midterm voters.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an American system.
Yeah.
So for us, we typically come out on the general election because we know there's more to gain.
Yeah.
But I can say this, I had to walk not just in my constituency. As the leader, I was walking in every constituency. There was a high level of apathy. Right? And there are people who are saying, what's the point in voting? Everybody is the same. Nothing changes. Nothing is going to get done. And we had to be psychologists, literally psychologists on the ground. Sometimes you would spend 20, 25 minutes just trying to convince people to come out to vote, even if you were not going to support the DNA.
Just come out.
Just come out to vote. And you could tell them the whole story about people who fought for the franchise so they could have the opportunity. The sentiment is not there.
Right.
There's no sentimental attachment because people are really looking at things from their own personal standpoint, where they sit. Can you help me? And that was a very difficult time too. Coming off of COVID.
It was rough.
We cannot underestimate the mental state of a lot of persons during that period. So there were a lot of factors, but I think we won't know until the next general election exactly.
Then we could start to.
If there's apathy, that's
All right.
Hopefully the numbers
I
go
want
up.
to piggyback off that question. I personally, I don't believe in third parties in this country.
Yeah.
I believe that it should be one or the other. And I believe that if you're not satisfied, you cannot. Too many people complain and say, I'm happy with the party, I'm happy with this, but I believe that you should work from within and build. If you want to bring change from within. Do you think that the third party has a proper role in this country? Do you think that third parties can affect? I know in 2012, because of the excitement of the DNA and brand. I think that affected in that. I haven't seen an effect of a third party CDR, BDM. I haven't seen an effect. Was that an aberration?
Well, if you,
or is that something we can see in the?
If you're looking for scientific results, then you would be correct.
Okay.
There's no effect. There's no impact.
Okay.
Right, because you're correct. The CDR got about 2% of the votes.
Yes.
In that 2002 general elections, and Dr. Nottage spent far more money than I spent.
Sure did.
I spent 6 figures. He spent high 7 figures.
Yes.
Right, and he was a former minister, a former member of parliament from a legacy party, and only pulled in 2% of the votes. Right, and we've seen during that period, it was really when I think Mr. McCartney had the best in that coming out of that period,
yes,
where persons were really fed up at that point in time. Now, again, I said, if you're looking at it in the science, you'll say third parties are a waste of time.
But narratives, though.
Yes,
narratives.
It's
an idea.
You have to tell your own story, right? Because for me, you need that effective third force in society to stand along the official opposition to provide the necessary challenge to the. If you look at a lot of the platforms that are being espoused now
today
by the current administration, by the previous administration, a lot of them started in the genesis of third parties.
This is what I'm saying. That is something that third parties, I think, contribute. They add to the conversation.
Absolutely.
They add to the conversation. Sometimes they steer the conversation. Sometimes they grab hold of issues and their supporters help propel those issues to the front of the conversation. So I think that there is a role in that
There's
respect.
absolutely a role. You know why? Because third parties typically, and I had to balance this when I was the leader of the DNA. We had different factions within the party with different interests. So we had a strong immigration core.
Yes.
They want to talk immigration all day long.
Yes.
We're telling you, we can't talk immigration all day long. We're trying to run a nation.
Right.
Then we had a core that was interested in the WTO. And they'd be like, Ms. Komalafe, I'm telling you that if we talk about this WTO, we'll win the election. If we talk about this immigration, we'll win the election. So they have issues that are personal to them that causes you to advocate stronger. And they will bring attention to those issues. If you look at the COI with the natural resources, they bring light to issues that forces the government, that's the governing party and the opposition party, to pay attention. And then they start to incorporate incorporate these things into their platforms. When we look at good governance platforms didn't start with the major parties. Good governance platforms, when we talk about fiscal responsibility, FOIA, all of that, started with third parties. You know, a lot of these things in terms of diversity of the economy. Orange economy, these
Green
terminologies,
blue economy, right?
They
That
started
definitely
with
came
the
out
third
of
parties.
the
So
DNA.
there's absolutely a need for them, but I think, you know, we go in seasons.
Yeah.
You know, the people, the persons that are leading them have to turn, because you can't do that indefinitely. I couldn't keep it. For me, it would have been putting money in a black hole. I'm sure it was the same thing for Brand. And it was the same thing for Dr. Nottage. And it was the same thing for Renwood Wells.
Right.
And Cassius Stewart.
Interesting. Let me just interject this here, okay? And I've heard his name come up a couple of times, friend of Mr. McCartney, Brown McCartney. And I got to ask you this, because recently, even though I find it very ironic that when he had an opportunity several years ago, he threw Dr. Minnis completely under the bus as a leader of the opposition, gave him a 0 confidence, no vote, you know what I mean? But now he's been apparently recently endorsing Dr. Minnis for a return to frontline politics and a return to leadership based off of a book tour. So I'd like to know what's your take on that and the possibility of another Minnis-led administration.
Well, I think first of all, I want to say...
And I just threw up in my mouth when I said that, but I mean, go right ahead.
First, I want to say with Brand, when Brand would have done that, he would have been the leader of the DNA.
Right.
That would have been his job.
Politics.
You know, he had to do that. I mean, look at the current administration now. We have Wayne Monroe inside the current administration. You remember when he was with the DNA and what he said about Mr. Christie and Mr. Ingram?
We remember.
Remember when you wore the green tie?
Remember when he said how dumb they were?
I remember.
But he's a member of the PLP now. Our politics, look at the way it's a small society, and I think people don't understand that, right? But when you are sitting in the seat where you're sitting, you have to do the job that you're doing. So if that's coming back, he was effective in his job at that point in time. Insofar as Dr. Minnis and another Dr. Minnis administration, well, the leader of the Free National Movement has indicated that the party is going to a convention by September. That's publicly reported. We don't know if Dr. Minnis is going to mount a campaign to come back, but there's suspicions that he will.
The word on the street,
right?
Fire and smoke. So anyhow,
right. So the voting bloc of the Free National Movement, I think this is very crucial. People have to understand this because 10,000 people can make noise and bad eyes all they want in the WhatsApp groups, on Facebook, in the media, but it's still a couple hundred persons inside the Free National Movement
800 votes
who are going to determine who they're
votes.
sending to the 2026 general elections.
Yep.
Right? And so those are things that people would have to be mindful of. It is almost irrelevant what the other 10,000 people think at that point.
Yes.
Right? Because first you have to deal with the leadership issue
You have to
at the
win your
party.
party first before you can win the government.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But, you know, to answer your question in terms of the administration, I know I was on the other end, as you know.
Yes.
We were very forceful against that administration and the things that they have done. And there were some good things that came out of the administration. I mean, we have to be able to acknowledge that, whether it was the plastic ban that's going to have environmental impact for a long time, whether it was the push of the good governance platform, particularly the fiscal responsibility legislation, and the fact that there was a council which is now being disbanded under this current administration. And, you know, just the movement toward trying to make some changes to get some stuff done at that point in time, and looking for investments, which has been an issue for multiple administrations over the past several years, even today. Dorian, I think, present in the minds of persons is Dorian. You can't run from it.
You can't.
You know, you can't run from it. Dorian is an issue, and the COVID pandemic is an issue, but that was an issue for everyone. Dr. Minnis, those are things that he's going to have to work on in terms of his, if you want to call it a comeback tour, if he's coming back. He's not the first one to try to do it. Mr. Ingram did it and was successful. Mr. Christie did it. Not that Mr. Christie went anywhere, but people automatically thought that Mr. Christie was the shoo-in for 2012. Right? But there was rumblings where persons were considering another leadership, but he was able to successfully rebrand himself.
He did go
He was
through,
able to successfully rebrand himself at the convention and come out successful, and of course lead the party back to victory in 2012. So those are things that they would have to think of, and the missteps that would have been made in the administration, they would have to be acknowledged, and then you would have to make the U-turn in that regard. But I think when persons are coming back, you have to be mindful of people are going to think about those things, and what is your intention? You have to be able to prove to people, I will be different, but you know.
Just the other day, they started talking and come back, and the first thing somebody posted was the schedule for grocery shopping.
Yeah, the memory.
Yeah, right.
All of a sudden, my stomach started.
Yeah, but you know, people are still clocking those things.
Yes.
Yeah, because remember the Maya Angelou quote about they may not remember what you say, they remember how you feel.
That
and
is
that's
true.
something that it's hard to go back in time and change something that's now ingrained in people about how they felt in that moment.
Right.
And so that would be one of the things that I think is going to be difficult to get around. But we'll see. I mean, like
we got to get to this call, but let me thank so much Bristol, Duncan, Drifters, Tropical Gyros, and El Shaddai Party Rentals, man, doing big things, making our 12th anniversary pop and
Happy
off the chain.
anniversary.
Appreciate y'all stepping up how y'all did today. And you know, I'm gonna, you know me, I should tutor. I ain't the tutor.
And the
Don't watch nothing.
toters come to your party.
All right, so let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. Caller, I appreciate your patience. And if you're not there, you can call us back. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hey, we say Naughty.
Hey, what's going on, man?
And your guest.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you holding. What you got for us today?
Yeah, we say Rental.
Hey, what you say? How you doing?
Yeah, that's Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
One of the trustees.
Yes.
Hey, I just want you to know and let you know that, you know, I was with you from day one.
Absolutely.
And I know everything you say is the truth. And, you know, we been on the ground, hitting the ground, left, right, and center. So we know what's going on. The people don't want the third party. We know that.
Right.
And, you know, we saw on the ground for years. And the much as we talk, and a lot of people that are hurting, we see the people hurting.
Right.
But yet they living in a different, I don't know what world they living in, but they ain't living in Nassau.
Right.
I think when they go back in the house, it's like it's going to different, you know what I mean? Different atmosphere, or different world. But anyhow, but just keep your head up, man. You know, I always respected you, and I always was on your side from day one.
Yes.
And I know, and you're a good woman, and your family is blessed, man. You know. And whatever you decide to do, that's on you, because you tried your best. I know you tried your best.
Thanks,
you know,
Jeremy.
man?
I appreciate that.
I just want you to know I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Good stuff, man. Good call. Appreciate the call.
Good call.
Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio.
Hey, no, you all as well?
Yeah, man. What's happening?
I would like to also say that Mr. Kamalafi, we really appreciated you as the leader of DNA.
Thank you.
And a lot of people thought that the party under your leadership would have broken through that three-party system, at least a two-party system, and got to a third party.
Right.
But like the other caller said, a lot of Bohemians just stuck in their ways and don't like to make hard decisions. Just like the easy way up. Don't be discouraged. A lot of people still behind you. And hopefully you make a decision that we could stand behind you and go wherever you go as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Hey there, man. You know, you all too is my good talk show host, you and early.
Hey.
That's why I must say that first, you know. Yeah, man, you got to say that first.
Hey, brother, man.
You all
What's
prompt
up?
me to call, because you always take the calls and all like that, and then, you know, with Pearly and you with the sports talk and all of that. So I must congratulate you.
Well, I appreciate you all rapping for the sports, man, because 2 years ago when I came in, it was like, look, man, you got to make this work. You got to do an hour of politics and pop culture and hot topics, and then an hour of sports. And I was like, in the words of Ray Charles, I'm going to make it do what it do, baby.
Hey, baby.
Well, I
And
must
2
say,
years
y'all-
later, we make it do what it do, but you all especially drive that sports hour, and I greatly appreciate that from you
Yeah,
guys.
y'all
every
two does-
Thursday, so
y'all-
cool.
Y'all two does a good job. That's why I call y'all show, you know. Now, one or two other people I ain't gonna call because they, you know, went on all day and blah, blah, like they preaching. But
There you go.
But don't worry, sports can get hot later.
I hear y'all talking about third party. Now, when Brownville did run, see, one mistake what Brownville did made, and I think we all know what that was. Hello?
Yeah, I
We all
let
know
me
what
finish.
that was. I will never say third party don't have a chance. See, third party got to pull a good candidates. You can't just pick up anybody and say, oh, I got to go run. You got to look selective. A good breed of candidates. Because one time when the other third party was in, and the other was the BDP or the
No. You talking about when the FNM split in 1977, and
Right.
PLP won the election, and what happened was who elected, I think it was the SDP they made. That's when Keith Duncombe, Janie Thompson, and all those. But it wasn't a
third party.
It wasn't a third party
It
that
was
won
basically
seats in
the
the general
FNM.
election. It was basically
Right,
the FNM, the lighter hue of the FNM that decided to go in a different direction.
Well, anyhow, I think a third party could do it. All you got to be is selective your candidate. You got to get some good candidates, and you have the money.
Hey, the
The,
second
mo-
word
the money
what
is
you
the
use.
main thing
The money.
because the candidates third parties come from the same pool of the candidates of the other parties. The money is the main issue. That's a big issue. And then, of course, there's the legacy. You need base. You need base. You need support.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got your base, but you got the money. You see, you have that money, you could campaign good with a third party. And, you know, you don't just want somebody just pick off the street and say, oh, I want to run. You know, you got to be
But it-
selective your candidate.
It does take a lot of money. Can remember now, the FNM was ran the first time in 1972 as a party. Took them 20 years to win the government. And that was it because they had a lot of money backing them over and over
Right.
at the times and build them up to that. It isn't easy. And if you don't have a good chunk of money, we ain't talking $1 million. If you ain't got a good enough, and I don't want to call it a figure, good enough
You
money.
need to call the figure. What's the figure?
$7-8 million easy.
All right. Okay.
Easy.
Minimum. That's what we talking
That's
about.
minimum,
All right.
you know.
Now, I'm going to go out here on a limb and say, since I did everything I had to do to get you here today, including have MJ here. We're going to go over into the 5 o'clock a little bit, if you all don't mind.
Okay,
please.
all right, sure.
All right? And I know Pearly don't mind that.
No, I don't mind. Actually, I got fussed out last week for going over, but that's fine. With a guest like this, we should.
Yeah, and we still got sports to talk, so we
Don't
can
worry,
get
the
enough
Dodgers
time.
won last night, so don't worry. The Dodgers come in again today.
Y'all talking today? Y'all talking Champions League?
No.
It's American football.
American, not
Actually, I think Man U got beat, eh?
No, they draw.
They drew,
Man
okay.
City draw with Real Madrid.
Real
and
Madrid,
PSG
that's
are
right.
playing right now.
So who you put for PSG?
PSG.
I can figure that. But you know,
Paris Saint-Germain.
Mbappe gone.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. We didn't have to ask why. We know. Similar last names and all.
Yes.
All right, but real quick,
like Mbappe.
I know MJ had some questions for you pertaining, and in general, and myself as well. Just regular, everyday questions that, we find that one thing I love is that we got the common man and woman that call this show every day. We have the everyday person who's got their finger on the pulse of how this thing go and how to live in this country and what we go through. So let's just talk about the cost of living, because I get that a lot every day.
That was one of the main things I wanted to pick your brain on, because, it is so expensive out there. I tell you, every time we go to the food store, I promise you, I say to myself, okay, you go in for these 3 things. Maybe I miss and pick up 5. And when I get to that register and I check out and they hit me with $150, $200, I like to, it's almost like you just want to melt. You can't believe how expensive things are these days, how difficult it is to even get some of the necessities you used to be able to get. Inflation is out of control. Everything is going up. BPL is going up. It's really, really tough right now. So what do we need to do? What do we need to be looking at? What should our future goals be? Because we can't keep on like this. It's rough.
No, we cannot. And the cost of living is out of control, as you indicated. This particular administration came in and said, well, we can't do anything with the
global inflation.
Because these are external factors and we have no control over that.
Right.
Gas prices or oil prices are high, food prices are high, lumber prices, and that is true.
Right.
We are experiencing global inflation. But your job you have the capacity to be able to manage that and to control it. Now, the administration will tell you, the current Davis administration will tell you, well, we came in here and we dropped VAT from 12% to 10%. So that is our strongest indication that we try to at least to attempt to deal with inflation. But you took VAT down from 12% to 10%. But you put VAT on breadbasket items.
Right.
All right? And it's on medicine. You never took it off of a medical insurance. It's on insurance. Things that you can bring relief to, you don't take the relief off. With VAT itself, in the last fiscal report that just came forward a couple of weeks ago, VAT has increased by almost $50 million, the intake that they took in. Just almost $50 million, about $47 million. Since the Progressive Liberal Party took VAT down from 12% and put it on 10%, and took it down to 10% and put it on breadbasket items, they have taken in an additional $101 million since then in value-added tax. So let's do the maths and let's use the count, because you reduce the VAT to bring relief, you said, but then the items that people have to buy every day, you put the VAT on.
And that's how you can get that.
So when you go to the food store, your store prices are high. You go to the restaurant, your food prices are high because, of course, the restaurateurs, they have to purchase the breadbasket items as well. Yes. Right? In addition to that, you have all these little sneaky little taxes that you keep adding here and there. Now those of us who import, they're sneaky.
Oh, yes.
You
So
have
the
these
little
import
one that
taxes.
came, I saw it the other day because I import things.
You
It was
import
like,
things?
and at first it was like, what this 42 cents is? I think it was something around that. I mean, it depends on how big the thing.
Well, yeah,
But
I just
it
want to tell you,
wasn't
it
there
depends
before.
on the
Yeah,
size.
yeah. This was a
Of
really
your-
small
of your
thing,
import.
and so I noticed it because when you buy really small things, sometimes that you just need, you notice when anything
freight
extra.
terminal, something.
Correct, and I was like, this wasn't here before.
Yes.
Where is this coming from? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's a sneaky tax.
Yeah, so you say, okay, your mantra is, I'm going to wipe the tear from everyone's eye.
Right.
Right? First of all, we have VAT because of the Progressive Liberal Party. Right? Something I was always vehemently against. Because if your philosophy the philosophy of the party does not line up with that particular tax policy.
Exactly.
Okay.
You would put in place a more progressive,
Right,
and
instead of a
equitable-
regressive
yes,
tax
something
like that.
impacts those at the that's what you did, and so it's no real consolation that you say, okay, I'm going to take it from 12 and put it down to 10, because when it was introduced at 7.5.
Yes, we
And
remember
when
those
it was
days.
introduced, it was introduced with no VAT on breadbasket items. And then the last administration did not introduce VAT on breadbasket items, even though the VAT went up as well to 12%. So you have these little, hidden taxes that the Bahamian people are paying every day, whether it's at the pumps, whether it's at the airport when you're traveling and the departure tax that is going up and all the other taxes they're adding there, whether it's the import, and we import everything. There's absolutely nothing that we import everything.
Yeah.
Even what we produce, we import.
Yes, because you need the raw goods.
You understand? So all these hidden taxes you are contributing, and then let's not talk about the BPL issue.
Well, that's what I
with
wanted
the
to get to.
edge.
We got to get to the news, but we still got BPL, NIB, Grand Bahama Port Authority to discuss with you on the flip side of the break. So
I like that new
terminology.
terminology, sneaky tax. So when I look at my bill now, I can say, now let me look for a little sneaky tax
imposed
now.
by Papa Tax.
Okay.
When you cut into the bail money, I just start saying, when you cut down on the bail money that you allow me down, that's sneaky tax too. Let's talk about all the sneaky tax. All right, let's get to the break. We'll get to the news, flip side of the news. We'll continue our conversation with Arinthia Komalafi and our special guest host, MJ, as well as Earl the Pearl in the building. Pearly, hanging out and doing his thing and contributing as always. And we'll have a great conversation on the flip side. Call us. You can call us back. We'll get to you. Text us. I see all your multitude of texts. We'll get to them on the flip side. Keep it right where you got it.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, ESC Distributors Limited, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Fun Foods Wholesale, the IAAF Road Relays Bahamas, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Tropical Gyros.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads. And of course, it's a great day today here at Guardian Radio. We're celebrating 12 years, our 12-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And I got to thank everybody who made it a big part today, made it extra special for us. I'm talking about Duncan, Drifters, Tropical Gyros, El Shaddai, and Bristol doing big things, making it happen all the way across the board. We greatly appreciate you, making our day special. And I appreciate everybody who chimes in. And I appreciate my special co-host today, my special guest co-host today, MJ. We ain't done this in a while. Not since the Shirley Street days.
I remember those days.
There you go.
Yeah, so what I can do to get MJ to come join me on a Thursday?
Just ask.
Okay.
There you go.
Hold on.
Wait, you be quiet.
Hold on.
No, just stop.
You just got to ask. I had to do dishes?
Just stop.
That's a good friend.
Just stop.
No, but that don't work. That's a sneaky tax right there.
No, but you know, she feeds me occasionally, right?
Yeah, but that can stop. That can stop. All you have to do is ask.
We have a special guest with us in studio today. Of course, we're talking with Arinthia Komalafi. Always a pleasure to have these conversations with you because your range of many different topics is phenomenal. It's very impressive, as Earl said. One of the things that's been on my mind recently, and it's mainly because of what happened with the BPL situation. When we heard that there was going to be an increase, then there was a walk back of sorts, and then eventually we had to deal with it. And we saw some bills that were, I tell you, I get shaken in the food store sometimes, really checking out because the price is so high. Well, when that BPL bill comes, I have to sit down and kind of prepare myself because there were some months there where it was just absolutely ridiculous, right? When I think about NIB and what's happening, recently we're talking about 1.5% increases every 2 years for the next 20 years. I mean, we're projected into 2044. And then there was a bit of a walk back. Oh no, just this year. But then I learned a lesson from the BPL. So I know it was coming. Like you got to learn the lesson at some point. What can we do with the NIB situation? I know you probably have some thoughts on it. There has to be a better way. There's no way that we're looking, our children are looking in 2044 at 25% NIB charge. That is just, it's unconscionable to me. And it's terrible that we're going to leave them in a bad position anyway. But to get that high, it's just absolutely ridiculous. What can we do? What should we be looking to do?
Well, it's a shame. Just backtracking on your point where you say the walk back. If you hear it the first time from the minister, believe it.
Right. Well, we learned a lesson, right?
Yes,
we learned that.
Because remember now, when Lorota was there, he said that this was going to happen, and then there was a walk back by the office of the prime minister.
Right.
And, with the hedge fund, we saw the throwing under the bus there, and what transpired with that. Now, with National Insurance Board, this is a can that's been kicked down the road for years.
Right.
We knew that the day of reckoning was coming. It's here now, right? Well, I guess make it come now. The sad part about NIB is it has been used as a slush fund over so many years by multiple administrations. Yes. And some of the investment decisions were even questionable.
Right.
What we did with the fund. But it is absolutely necessary to be able to have these increases, because if you don't, then the same generations that we're talking about are not going to be able to benefit from it. Right. And we've been benefiting from this fund now for, almost 5 decades, maybe a little over 5 decades.
I think it came in
from
74,
the 1970s.
74?
Yes. So, but 5 decades now, right? So it's absolutely necessary to have it. And we should be proud as a small island state that we have this Social Security net that has been able to keep us for so long. The problem is that it's coming at a bad time. But whenever it's the right time to put it in place, but it's coming at a bad time.
The worst time.
And it's absolutely, certainly, perhaps you can argue it's the worst time. But where there is a lack of trust with the management of finances that we continue to pour, give to the government. I just mentioned all those taxes earlier. And then we have this increase with NIB, and the question is, when does it stop? Because your salaries aren't getting any higher.
No.
Right? The opportunities to get your salary higher is not being presented to you. We're not moving swiftly with diversifying the economy, so persons being able to get into more skilled jobs that can pay a higher income that can get them in a particular bracket where people probably wouldn't mind paying these contributions. But when you see you have the nickel and dime, and even those at the top of the chain, at the food chain, being just absolutely alarmed when you walk inside the food store and the price of grocery is this, and when you go to the pumps and the price of gas is this, and when you open up your these challenges that we're having with NIB, I think we have to do them, unfortunately. But the question is, how are we going to be able to satisfy in the minds of the Bahamian people that the monies and the extra monies that you say you're going to take is actually going to go towards properly securing the fund.
Right.
And making sure the fund is there to satisfy what it needs to. I just wanted to add this other point. One of the other things that we don't talk about, because you can assume that we do make the investors pay their national insurance contributions, right? We're very aggressive with that. But there are other business persons in the community that owe millions of dollars in contributions that are not paying their contributions and are not being forced to pay their contributions. I know in some cases we do have persons on payment plans.
Like a plan?
Yes, getting people accommodated and stuff like that. And I know that the NIB board has been very aggressive over the years.
Trying to get that
in. But that's another leak, another loophole where persons are not paying their contributions, which is also contributing to the delay as well, and the sustainability, threatening the sustainability of the fund.
There's a social side to it as well, right? Because I understand that. And I was looking at it the other day, doing a little bit of research, but the birth rate in this country, the number of persons. Yeah, we went from 5 roughly in 1960, like every woman would have and I know because my mom has multiple brothers and sisters. I think it's like 8 of them, and then the same on my dad's side, right? So it was like that back in the day. So we go from 5 per woman in 60, I want to say, and then this decline. Do you know what the rate is today? It's 1.39. That is the amount of, that's the average.
And I'm
for
above
Bahamian.
that average.
And me too. Yeah. Me too. Just about, but I'm above. I'm above that. But that is the average. And that is a concern because you also have a situation where back in 1960, the average age of life expectancy was 63. Now we're at about 71. So you have an aging population that's moving out of the the working pool, but they're due their contributions that they've paid into for their entire lives. You have less young people actually contributing now. So I see a real problem. I just sometimes wonder if it's not going to be even worse than we anticipate if our birth rate stays this low. But we never talk about that part of it.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm because you understand that as the generations move by, they're having less children. Right. So you might have 2 children.
Right.
Most.
Right.
Maybe, 3 is the top people would have. Not back in the days with our parents. 4 or 5.
I know.
Certainly not our grandparents and great-grandparents with
They
10,
had more.
12.
And I like growing up with a lot of brothers and sisters, but I just couldn't.
They were home.
My mom actually worked. Six of us.
Okay.
She worked. But I get your point.
The cost of living,
so
because
we can't afford.
I have 3 teenagers. I have a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 17-year-old who will be 18. So you can imagine.
I remember those days.
They eating out house and all.
You know what?
They do.
I like that in the middle part because
Right.
when they were babies, it was hell because I had 3 children in Pampers one time.
Right.
And now they're in that teenage year where they have a mind of their own.
Boy, I'll go back to the terrible twos and change the teenage years for the terrible twos any day of the week.
That's true.
I would
I
take the
agree.
terrible twos any day. I thought I couldn't take it then, but my God, when they hit the teenage years, give me the terrible twos
The
any
next
day.
worry is when they start going out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you
No,
cannot
that's
sleep till they get
that's a
home.
different generation. Me and Uncle Purdy would be taking them out. Chaperone.
I pick you up right there
They can't-
at 12:30.
they
If not at 12:35, I'm coming to the
They
front door.
can't get into no nightclub. They Naughty said that. Okay, Naughty, they here, and they ain't have no fun.
Gotcha.
They ain't have no fun.
But the challenge with that is, persons are going to stop at 1 and 2. It's expensive.
It's very
expensive to
expensive.
educate your child, right?
And there are less married couples out there. More
But listen to
single
this text.
mothers.
Yes, absolutely.
So they don't
Afternoon,
have 3 and
everyone.
4 kids because
No.
they can't afford it.
They can't afford it.
But check this out here. This text is saying, I make over $60,000 a year, no dependents, no rent or car payment, and I still leave the grocery store with chest pains and lightheadedness.
I'm telling
and
you.
depression
Same thing
from
with
the
me.
food
'Cause you
crisis.
get shocked. You get shocked.
Absolutely.
You're just so surprised. Like, I make a conscious effort. I even try to do a little calculation, but if you miss and put something and you didn't plan for it, be prepared to be shocked because everything is so
When I first
expensive.
got married, I used to make 2 and 3 trips from the car with grocery bags.
You remember those
Bring
days,
all
right?
this on one trip in one hand now.
Exactly.
Let's go to the phone
Yeah.
lines real quick because this caller's been holding for a minute. Talking Heads.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Anton?
Very good. Good afternoon, Pearlie, Orinthia, and I don't know who else.
MJ.
That would be MJ.
Oh, okay. And MJ, good afternoon to you. all.
Hi.
Good
Afternoon.
Just congratulations, by the way, on the 12th anniversary. And how many years has it been with you and Pearlie?
2 years for me and Pearlie there. March 28th made 2 years, man.
And congratulations on your 2-year anniversary as well.
Appreciate that, Anton. And like
As I always say, I do think that you do an excellent job by bar none, by far, as it relates to the sports. I ain't getting into the politics.
Yeah, because I scored BS on you too much, but you're still all right with me.
Anyway,
I don't
But I always let him stay on the phone. I don't know why he's
No, listen, Anton, and like I say, you take your blows. A lot of people say, oh, don't let Anton call this and that. Listen, one thing I've always done in this show, we try to do is called Talking Heads. Everybody get a chance to talk. Everybody get a chance to contribute.
Yes.
So we appreciate your contributions. Hey, don't mind me if I call BS from time to time. That's just like sports. Like, I don't agree with you on your take on your team or not. But that ain't going to stop us from being all right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Naughty. And on that particular note, I'd like to get into the other part of why I called. I was listening to, I didn't catch all of the conversation, but I caught a good bit of what Orinthia and what's the other person? MJ was talking about. And they're saying sneaky tax. That is not true. The Prime Minister spoke to the increase that is expected as it relates to the freight cost and he explained why there would be an increase in freight costs. And so nothing was sneaky about that. That was done in Parliament for the nation to bear witness to as it relates to that. As a matter of fact, former Prime Minister Minnis also questioned the Prime Minister on that particular matter, and he spoke directly to it as a result of the question that he put on the record too, right? And so there's nothing sneaky about that.
Anton, all right, fine. I accept you saying he spoke about the House of Assembly. So why 99% of the customs brokers know nothing about it? Why didn't the government do a proper job of making sure they all got the information, got a flyer, got an email, got something?
Press release.
They don't know anything about it. So you could tell me they spoke about the House of Assembly, but you know a lot of people don't spend all day watching the House.
Well,
so let's be real, man, Anton. Let's be real, bro.
I can't speak to why brokers would not be aware, but I know that it was communicated in Parliament.
But
moving on to my other 2 points quickly before my time runs out. Arentia.
Yes. Hi, Anton.
Are you able to tell us, because you were claiming that, and I'm not saying it's incorrect as it relates to the increase in the VAT. You spoke to there being a massive increase or uptick in revenue collections from VAT for the government. Are you aware of what directly contributed to the government's uptick in VAT revenue collection, Arentia?
What are you suggesting is the reason?
No, I'm asking you because you would have gave the inference that the bread basket items, etc. So I'm asking you, can you tell us specifically or directly what contributed to the uptick in government's revenue collection on VAT?
But I'm assuming you're asking me that, Anton, because you know the answer.
No, but I'm asking you to answer because you made a statement regarding it. So I'm asking you can tell us.
So the statement that I made is that despite the fact, right, that the government has, that I said, the reality is we are seeing an increase in income, particularly in the area of value-added tax.
Yes, in the performance of VAT.
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yes. So what specifically do you want to speak to?
Let me just add a few comments in there, and then I'll move on to my last point. We just experienced a record level year in tourism in our country, right? Which VAT is attached to on every aspect relating to tourism, right? Which would have contributed greatly to the overall performance of VAT in the country, right? The government also has reinstated the Revenue Enhancement Unit, which is also performing very well in the country, which also attracts VAT. And of course, with the government reducing VAT, you could expect that if and a study was done to this particular point that the opposition tried to hold on to pointlessly, which related specifically to the difference in performance between the reduction in VAT to 10% versus the adding of VAT onto the bread basket items. And when you conduct the analysis, you will determine by any scale you could use to test that reduction would far outweigh any increase that would have been realized in the bread basket item.
So Anton, I just want to talk about your first point where you talk about the increase, which is being touted, and that's being touted. Look, so the Minister of Tourism has talked about this increase, that is Mr. Ichester Cooper. We had the same conversation from Mr. Diagla in the last administration. We had it from Mr. Wilchcombe several administrations ago. The Bahamas is a brand, and as long as we don't fumble the bag like the young people say, we're going to continue to have this uptick. You are perfectly aware of the fact that the majority of those tourists are coming from the cruise ships, and you are perfectly aware of the fact that those tourists do not spend a significant amount of money on the ground. It is the tourists and the heads and the beds that spend the money, and we're not seeing the massive uptick there in the stopover tourists. We're seeing the massive uptick at the port. Yeah. So if you know the statistics that are produced by the Ministry of Tourism themselves, those
$4
persons.
million this year.
Right, but look how many of them go to the private islands that spend with the cruise line on the private island.
They're using us as
and
a
they're taken care of
pass-through.
by cruise ship staff that aren't even Bahamians who could do the job, and we don't even make work permits off of that.
Absolutely, and revenue enhancement. So when you talk about the revenue enhancement unit, what are you saying to me? Are you saying that there were a lot of grocers, retailers, and merchants who were not paying their returns or who were not recording the proper amount of VAT that they were collecting? Because is that what we're hearing, why VAT would have been an uptick because of the advancements by revenue enhancement? I didn't hear that in the public domain. So everything that you're putting forward to suggest why we have moved to get this $100+ million since we took VAT and put it on breadbasket items, I don't think what you're putting forward is strong enough.
No.
Be okay? So the inference is stronger there that the reason why we're seeing this $100+ million is because, of course, yes, more people are going to the store because they have to survive, they have to eat. Wasn't it just the Prime Minister who was just up in West Grand Bahama during the by-election who said they didn't realize how bad it was up there and people couldn't eat? People have to eat. So if we want to go by that metric in West Grand Bahama, where the people really can't go to the store to buy the food to eat, well, it's not their VAT money that is contributing to this 100 million uptick. So we need to know what you're talking about all these living standpoint, from a standard of living standpoint, that they're able to go to the food store and just spend this massive amount of money. People are going to the food store every day because they have to manage the dollars that are coming in. These are the realities on the ground. This is not the rhetoric.
We still have a large cross-section of Bahamians living on $4 a day.
You make a really good point. And a lot of the things, the bread basket items, as you say, would be the things that you're repeating, you're buying over and over and over again. Because those are the things in this environment that you can afford still. You know, they would be.
And they have an expiration date in a lot of instances.
Exactly. Right? So I think you make a really, really good point.
While Anton may be able to go in the food store and spend $15 for a case of soda, I gotta buy one soda every day, which is $1. So I end up spending $24 for a case of soda.
And Anton might have $1,000 and you only have $100.
Amen.
And when you then spend the same $15 on the case of soda he has. Oh, well, you can't even buy the case.
So I buy one at a time.
But if somebody can pay the $15 that Anton is paying with his $1,000 disposable income versus the person with the $100 disposable income, that person has $85 left compared to what Anton has left.
But you said earlier about how regressive,
it's regressive.
How regressive this particular taxes are.
I wrote an article on this several years ago. I've been writing an article. I wrote a column for 5 years in Nassau Guardian. Right, and I just want to give props to the Guardian and celebrate them for their 12th-year anniversary. And I feel like I'm a part of the family too, because I don't know. Right?
And that's like to be your last visit on this show, so you can consider yourself family.
But I spoke about this when the Bahamas was exploring the introduction and the implementation of value-added tax. And I did my own study and wrote my own article on this piece and did a benchmark across the region and across the world. The people that have general consumption tax, which is GST, they have general consumption tax because they're taxed on what you consume, goods and services. Most persons that have that in their system, they have an equitable system to balance it off. They have a progressive level of tax, usually on income, not just corporate, but individual. Right. It is highly unlikely that you will find a country implementing such a regressive tax without having something to balance off. And when they implemented VAT, what was said? Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to increase the social service budget. So are we moving forward toward independence, or are we moving forward toward a welfare state? Are we further deepening the welfare state?
But wasn't that the same social services budget that they took money out of to fund a memorial for Mr. Wilstrom?
That sounds like to me.
That's the same. I just want to make sure
There's only one line item.
All right, well, guess what? We got to wrap this, and I really appreciate you being here. And obviously, I know this is the first of many, not just one off. We're establishing that now. But I got one more to ask you before you get out of here, and I do appreciate you being so candid as always. It is good to see you. Glad to know you're doing well. The farm's doing well.
Absolutely.
And regards to your hubby, further, member of the Mensa Club that we've never won an argument in 20 years. So to let him know I'm still there in this corner with him, you know what I mean? We're brothers in that. And obviously, all the best. Pearlie and I talk about your kids all the time as far as the track and field and the soccer, and encourage them to keep doing well. And you keep being a voice because everybody still likes to hear from Orinthia Komolafe. I'm going to ask you one more before we get out of here. Sure. This the elephant in the room.
You gotta ask her. You have to ask.
Your take on the whole situation going on.
Well, no, actually, I was just going to ask because, that we know you went on the sabbatical, DNA was done. But the thing that we've been hearing is that perhaps, politics in your future is a lot closer. Yeah. A lot closer. So, and we spoke about this.
We did.
A couple of years ago, we spoke about this, and I always said, hey, Orinthia, I love what you're doing, but if it really comes down to it, and you got to go one way or another, which way you going?
Absolutely.
Is that a question that you can answer for me today?
Yeah, that's
Have
absolutely
you made a
question
decision
that I can answer.
Talk to us about your political future.
Yeah, so when I did make that resignation, I did say emphatically that I was not leaving frontline politics.
So much to
But
contribute.
I knew that I would take a break. Exactly. I just, and the love and the passion for the country is still there, right?
That's
and
clear.
so since I, and I know we have to wrap, but since I took on your sports program, I took your sports hour. I'll just put it in the words of LeBron James. I'm taking my talent to the free national movement.
Okay. But for whatever you do, all right, that's great. But just remember now,
she is taking her
unlike
talent
LeBron,
to the free
take your
national
talents and win.
We can win the championship in the first year. That's my Lakers too. I want him out of the purple and gold.
All right.
So you heard it here first, Ms. Orinthia
I do
Komolafe
too.
is taking her talents to the free national movement. Congratulations. It's good to see you back in front line politics again. You have so much, as I said, you have so much to contribute to the country. You're such an inspiration. I'm here today, to celebrate Guardian.
Absolutely.
Congrats. But because persons like yourself that have been putting in the work and given us so much, not just to think about, but different ways to look at some of the problems we face as a nation, that you're so invaluable. So congratulations to you. Thank you for hanging out with us today, and
Thank
go
you.
with those
I really
talents.
appreciate it. Great afternoon.
Nah,
Nice
you could
seeing
go
you, MJ.
do the rest of the run, but then do the rest of the run, come right back home. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm so glad you said that about LeBron and LA.
Listen, I'm hoping Bronny goes to the league. I know he's not ready, but I'm hoping just so I can get LeBron out of the goal.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Let him go to
And
Cleveland.
purple.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, and let's get to the break, but always good to see you, always good to hear from you. And the text and the phone lines, call us. We'll have her on again, and we'll chop it all up. I greatly appreciate you being here. We'll take a break. Flip side of the break, we'll talk some sports with Pearlie. Dwight will be in the studio, chopping it up. Keep it right where you got it. The Wednesday, April 10th edition, anniversary edition of Talking Heads, 12 years of Guardian Radio, right here on 96.9 FM. Don't touch it.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Made exactly the way they should be by someone with chicken in their name. The new Kentucky Chicken Sandwiches feature a quarter pound of all-white meat, triple breaded, spicy chicken breast filet on a freshly toasted buttery brioche bun. With your choice of lettuce, tomato, bacon, thick-cut pickles, and the perfect amount of Colonel's real mayo or spicy sauce. Every chicken sandwich is freshly prepared and piping hot. Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwiches, the only chicken sandwiches that are finger-licking good.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News Sales Representative 7 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
excitement, the fierce competition, the entertainment. On May 4th and 5th, our Bahamian athletes will compete with hundreds of the best from around the world to secure their spot in the Paris Olympics.
Gardner takes the title.
Come witness history as our athletes chase the sun from paradise to Paris at the 2024 World Athletic Relays. May 4th and 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets now at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium box office.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, April 10th edition of Talking Heads, celebrating 12 years of Guardian Radio. And I got to thank everybody who made it a great day. You know, I look across at everybody who chipped in and said, you know what, Guardian, have a great day. And I want to thank them because Bristol did that thing, Duncan did that thing, Drifters did that thing, El Shaddai Gyros did that thing. And like only they can. So I know everybody was enjoying this up today. And it's great to be part of the team. Like I said earlier when I opened the show, Dwight, I'm glad you're in studio. I really appreciate the opportunity to get off morning radio, but it's all yours now. Enjoy those morning hours. They're all completely yours.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you for liberating me off that. Morning radio is great, but it was a good chance for career transition, and it was a great opportunity. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity and Guardian Radio. And obviously, I think me and Pearlie made the sports hour do what it do. Y'all had the doubts in there, but
a lot of people didn't
think
it could work, but you all are doing it, and it's growing and growing. It's wonderful stuff. Great stuff going on there. Yeah. So I got a bone to pick with you, Naughty.
What's the bone?
It's been 2 years since you've been on the air.
Uh-huh.
And as part of the deal, you were supposed to have the lovely MJ with us regularly. That was one of the main reasons we agreed to do this.
Hold on.
And this is the first time in 2 whole years that she's been on the air. I don't understand.
I'm going to let you deal with this now. Just because of that, I'm on the sofa now anyway. So now that I'm on the sofa, get your money's worth.
How can this be the first time that she's come on the air? I don't understand.
It's been crazy, but the important thing is I'm here today to help celebrate with you guys. I'm so impressed, Dwight. I mean, with Guardian Radio, with your growth over these last 12 years. I remember the early days.
Yeah,
remember
when you were on our sister station over there.
Hot 91, and we watched it. It was special then, but I think it's even more special now. You guys have excellent shows. You do an excellent job in the morning. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me that you're their wake up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Getting that news and that information early. Yeah, no.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you very much.
You do an excellent job, and the station on the whole is a wonderful place. So I'm sorry. This is my first time. I must say, yes, I will be back.
Okay,
and
great.
I'm very impressed with Guardian Radio.
Because I gotta say, when he proposed that could happen,
Yes.
like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I fell in love with you at the last place you were at, and I'm like,
Listen,
oh yeah, if she's gonna be a part of this team.
That it was mutual affection. Let me tell you guys a story. I've never, because there are a lot of talented people on radio, a lot of talented people that write in the papers, and I've never reached out to, particularly because I like to read, to columnists. I sent Dwight. I read one of your reviews one time, a movie review, and it was so good. I was like, I have to tell him how good this was because it was so much talent. So you're well versed in a lot of things.
Well, thank you.
Not just the radio thing, but writing as well. So congratulations. I know it's not. I know it's
He's
not
got to
easy.
be able to get out the room.
I know it's not easy.
No, but I appreciate Dwight's movie reviews because they're honest.
They're so good and funny.
When you had a big time, movie critics come out, oh, you should see this. It's blockbuster. It's phenomenal. Once in a generation,
So
the movie sucks.
watches it, and then he breaks down.
And the ones that said it are horrible are the good ones. And you nail it every
do,
time.
you
You
do.
get it out there.
Yeah.
And if you say it's a good movie, it's a good watch. And if you say be Larry, then I'm Larry. So I appreciate that.
I'm
All
trying to
of that to
remember a
say.
movie you criticized I didn't watch. It was something. It'll come to me later. But it's something you talk about. I say I'm not going to. I'm not gonna waste my money
There's some
on
people
that.
who tell me that if I like it, they aren't going to watch it.
Oh, okay.
And that if I don't like it,
Then they
that
will
means it's
see
good.
it. Oh, okay.
That's
So
what
when you say you
Well, I
push me
appreciate
to see 1 or 2 movies.
You're a good man.
Yeah,
You're a good man.
I try to be.
Yeah.
There you go.
Say all of that to say, and this includes, of course, yourself, Naughty, and of course you, Earl, that Guardian Radio has a lot of talent, so you guys should be really proud of what it is that you're able
That's
to do.
like I tell people. They ask me all the time. I know two things. Whenever you go out in public and they say, "Boy, I know that voice," or "That's naughty," we're Pearly. I know you listen.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I always say, they say, well, if you know the voice, that means you listen, and I appreciate
I've
you.
had plenty people say, "Oh, so that's okay."
Yeah.
So I mean
love it.
that's a good feeling to know that people are counting on you and they want to hear you. But it's also very good to when you come to work, like you okay, I'm going to work. I got my 2 hours and I go in and be productive and you look forward to it.
Yeah.
And every day I come in, it's always fun. I must say that one
Yeah.
way or another. I must go on record not to and say I humbly, on behalf of the listeners of Talking Heads, we have a case to bring to your worship on behalf of Sparky. Sparky is crying for reinstatement. Sparky's calling me 12 in the night asking for
Your
reinstatement.
worship. Oh, yeah?
So we're going to put it before the courts. That's the best
Do
I
we
can
need
do.
to test it or something? I mean, is it going to be safe for consumption?
I'll talk to Sparky over the weekend and get back to you. I can't comment on that yet.
Is it a brown bottle?
I can't put the word safe with Sparky at all. But anyway, we'll talk.
He was on today. You heard him,
Oh,
right?
no, I heard
we
him.
got him on.
All right,
and,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we said for today. We don't know. Although he was carrying on a little bit outside. But yeah, so
But that's one of
people
the
heard
things-
him today.
With talk show, though, I've always found, and especially from watching it from the other side, before I get on this side, you got a bunch of characters. And I'm the kind of person, I embrace characters. I'm a comedian, so, you know, characters are right up my alley. So if it's only for my show, it's cool, man. I'll take him. I'll get a muzzle for it.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment.
I remember the first time they say, "Hey, you handle the Thursdays by yourself." I'm like, "Oh my god." And it was a nervous feeling, and I'm not saying this to swell your head, but I look forward to those little texts you drop me.
Oh.
And encourages.
Yeah, but don't get him started with that now.
Some criticism as well.
Let him say it to you. No, but to be honest though, one of the things that I fill in for me, you should have a day. I learned that from Chrissy Love, my cousin, back in the day.
I appreciate it.
You got a day, give somebody a platform, give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if you bring enough to the table to cover for me, then you should be bringing enough to the table to have a day for yourself and show it off and do what you do.
I always tell people this. I'm dear friends with Peter Turnquist. Very good friends. And he texts me and they say, "Earl, you found your new thing." And I thought that was one of the greatest compliments. And I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah. No, Naughty better watch it because people are really, really, really liking you, Curly. People are really liking you. So.
I thought they told me Dwight should watch it.
Hey, 12 years is a long time. Maybe it's time for me to.
I don't know if I could get up that early.
I do it mornings. Don't even think about it.
Yeah. But I want to salute both of you. I mean, this is great. This is a very competitive time slot. This might be more competitive than mornings now. There's a lot of talk shows on from 4 to 6 and later, and you all are holding your own, holding it down. And we salute you, and you're growing. We can see that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so this is good stuff. Good
Well,
stuff that you do.
I was at the Elevation Awards on the weekend. Shout out to VMAC, the Elevation Awards. Had to present an award as one of the past winners.
We don't know what that is.
No. That's why you got me here.
Oh, okay.
So I had to let them know. Next year, if I don't see nominations with sense where they should be, I could do some comedy next time. I come up here and get off on some of y'all who need to get off on.
That's a good idea.
Because you can't be, when I walk in and they say, but he wasn't nominated, I say, yeah, I'm just presenting tonight. And you know me, I've won enough. It's all good to let somebody else win. But then when I look down in the audience and I see certain individuals have shows from 4 to 6, I got all competitive and fired up. I say, you know what? We need to beat the brakes off them, and Pearly need to come get a trophy next year. And Dwight need to come get a trophy, what he deserved. And we'll go from there. So, yeah, we made sure to mark that fire hydrant. They will be coming our way next year.
That's a shift that I've never done. And I always said to myself, oh, God.
I want to ask you, what time do you go to
I'm
bed?
definitely not supposed to be here this hour.
True.
This is
What
a
time you
real
go to
long
bed?
day. You don't want to do it. It's all over the place. It's all over the place.
8 or 9. Probably something
It should be.
If he does
Well.
morning radio, I can guarantee you by 4:20, 4:30, he's up.
I know.
Having a glance and doing whatever, and probably by 6 or so.
Glass?
A glance.
What do you mean?
A glance.
Oh, glance. Oh, okay.
I could do the 4:30 thing once in a while if I have a flight to catch. But to do that every day,
It's
I
hard.
admire you for
I want to
that.
show you
it's not
my
easy.
my alarms. The first ones like I stopped at 3:41, but anyway, 4:15,
Yeah.
4:30, 4:45.
And when I-
those are the ones. I just said all of them.
Finally get
Yeah,
up.
right.
When I first started doing this show, it took me a year to get off the 4:20 routine. I would wake up every morning 4:20. I'd still be up, and I'd be like, "Oh God, how am I going to get
Yeah,
over
it
this?"
takes a lot.
It's not easy.
But the problem is weekends when you wake up at that hour.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
for
That's
years.
the
That's how Naughty was. He
Yeah.
would like wake up the same time on a Saturday morning when he didn't need to. So
Right.
yeah,
And
it is-
holidays.
It's and holidays.
Yeah.
It's
Let-
rough.
Let's take this call real quick. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Are they there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
All right. Boy, I was over for half an hour.
Wow.
I was trying to get in that beach when Komalafi was there, but be honest with me.
Naughty owe you minutes.
Congratulations to you guys on 12 years, Dwight, and Naughty on the 2 years, and Chicago 7 years, and 4 years for those other guys. It's amazing. I'm a regular listener. Wow. I call every once in a while when I get a chance, but I'm grateful for the knowledge that you guys have imparted.
We appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.
And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
my contributions was first of all Mr. Purley. Purley said he don't like the third parties. I don't like parties in House of Assembly. I can say that one.
Okay.
The other thing is that when we talk about the VAT, remember I think all of you forget. I am 99.9% sure that that the PLP said that VAT will be added to back to the breadbasket item for 2 years, and after 2 years they would reverse it. We have already gone 2.5 years. Check the records, it was said.
I questioned it.
don't
I would keep questioning because I thought I
Good
heard it,
stuff,
but I
caller,
couldn't
man.
find
I
anything
don't.
to say that.
remember
I
that
don't
one.
remember hearing that. I just don't recall. That.
Although I think they said they would review everything.
Right, because the
Right,
10%
after the 2
was
years.
also
Right,
something
the
that was
10%.
Yes, and gone, and ain't nothing changed. And like Bisco Komalafi said, the Bahamian people catching hell. You just talk about, you just talk about used to get 3 and 4 bags, now you only getting half of one.
Yeah.
And so forth.
That's true.
It has tremendously impacted our society. And the other thing that I have to make a note on, customs duty is already a tax. Why when we come into the port and to the airport, they putting tax on top of a tax? They are robbing us. Something needs to be done about it.
Well, that's
Something needs to
been
be done
happening, right?
about it. It is wrong.
Yeah.
Good
It
stuff,
is
caller.
wrong.
Appreciate you chiming in, man.
Have a great day.
All right then.
Go ahead. You got one more point to make. Go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing was is that I missed is something about the BEC bill. They are taxing BEC bill. You know, a lot of people they don't get to pay their bill all the time, right? They don't pay their bill in total, and when they don't pay it, that means they left 100 or they left 200. When the other rest of the bill come on from the next month, that 200 plus the new bill, and the tax is still on top of that. So we get double and triple tax.
I need to look at my.
All right, we'll look at them bills, caller. I appreciate you.
Only if you go over the threshold. There's a threshold when VAT is applied.
Right.
So if you leave a balance, then that will happen.
Yeah, go over the threshold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there
yeah.
are a lot of fees and taxes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We can't call him sneaky because Anton will get upset, but yeah.
No, my whole thing about
Surprising.
it is there needs
You'll
to be
call
more
it that.
vision than just
Surprising.
rush to tax the populace. I
Shocked.
mean, you need to have some sort of vision or some sort of plan or some sort of ulterior motive than just tax. I mean, that's going to get you nowhere.
How about spend less money?
That's another
about
story
travel
for
less?
another day. All right, we
Less
got
consulted.
one more call. Let's catch this one real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I think my call got dropped.
Is this a record, Anton? How many calls did you make today?
It happened. Like, you know, I've been supporting the show from you came on, so, you know, it is.
Anton, you are definitely in the Hall of Fame, buddy. You there?
Celebrating, man. Celebrating.
I think he did 12 for each year.
Exactly.
For each year we've been on.
So, like, Naughty.
Yes.
What's the lady name again?
Mary Jane. Mary Jane. Yay.
Mary Jane.
Hey.
Boy, you're the biggest
I learned it from you, Anton. I catch you on. I understand from Naughty. You're very, very good at debating these topics, so it's always interesting to hear from you.
Look, yeah, what I want to end on, Naughty, and Dwight and Pearlie and Orinthia and Mary J. What I want to end on is after my call was dropped, Arintia spoke to the cruise ship arrivals, stating that that's where most of our tourism arrivals come from. We all know that, but she also went on to say something that's not true, that's incorrect. She stated that the spend has not changed. Matt Moore, the president of the that the spend has increased by perhaps, I think, up to 100%.
But where are we in the region as far as spend per region, Anton? We're still low.
It is no. Well, I'm talking about I'm talking about the analysis from what it was before the new cruise port and what it was and what it is
right,
now.
But is that the analysis for the cruise port and the shops surrounding the cruise port? Because it doesn't really speak to the private islands where we make no money on.
Naughty, which would fall in line with the record level tourism numbers we experience, and also the final point that I get onto, and
is that because the costs have gone up too, or would they buy it? Does that have anything to do with it?
Have to take
costs have gone up too. Does that change how much they're spending?
Not necessarily.
If you're spending $10 on something, so you're paying 10% VAT on $10. If the item goes up to $15,
right.
You're spending 10% on $15.
What are y'all talking about when y'all talk about the increase?
The cost of living has risen. You're paying more money for items, so you're paying more VAT on the items you're buying.
What exactly are y'all talking about when y'all talk about
everything?
In any event, let me make my last point, and then I'll pick up the other conversation another day. The point that I wanted to expand on is, Arintia also spoke to, it seems like the government is interested in continuing to make us a welfare state rather than moving us to independence. And she used the example that social services budget would have increased with the reduction in VAT from 12 to 10%, but also with the addition, with the adding of VAT on the bread basket items. I want to explain that even when, because it is going to come, even when the Bahamas government implements or moves away from the regressive tax, and no one denies that VAT is a regressive tax. The government of the Bahamas acknowledges that as well. But when the government of the Bahamas moves towards taxing funds or taxing finances, which would be far more equitable in terms of taxation, the government will still need to increase the social services budget, because the poor will always be with us, regardless of what story anyone seeks to make, and they will always need the support to help them from falling even further through the loops of finances in the country. And so that's not a plausible argument at all as it relates to trying to deflect, trying to present the government as seeking to keep us as a welfare state. Arintia. And the information on the port that you provided with the spend of the tourists is absolutely incorrect, because that is increased by at least 100%.
Where can I find that information so I can research it tonight?
That's what I need.
Don't tell me, Matt Moore. Tell me exactly where I can find it so I can look. Give me the
You
link.
asked a question, now I'll answer you.
All right.
I was ending the point by saying, based on a statement by Matt Moore, which you could find in the Nassau Guardian, which is where I get my news from primarily.
Great plug.
But doesn't the Department of Statistics put out numbers? I won't see that. Matt Moore made a statement. He made a statement. He didn't give any specific figures.
So
he didn't
you
give
need
any
the source
numbers.
for that
I want to see the
statement.
numbers
You
so I
need
can
the
say, hey,
source.
that's a true statement.
Yeah.
If you take it as a statement and when Matt Moore said something else, and it's not Matt Moore, incidentally, Matt Moore works with BIS.
Yeah.
Mike
Moore.
Moore.
So when he makes another statement, I hope you support it the same way you support this.
My question is this: with the same information that they have surrounding the port and the stores in proximity to the port from Mr. Morrow, can we not get some information on the breakdown on the private islands and how many guests frequent them a week that they're not charged for, that we make no money off of, because the private islands are...
It's available. I've seen it before. I've researched it before. So that is available. I'll have to look it up, and I could probably give you some links. But I don't understand why we're having a great debate about this. We know that the Deputy Prime Minister has said himself that he is really trying to get more stopover tourists. I mean, this isn't a new phenomenon in the country. We know that we have a lot of tourists that are simply on the cruise ships. They're not spending. A lot of Bahamians are not benefiting from, us basically acting as just a gateway that they pass through, and they do stop at their islands. We know that most of these tourist numbers, the uptick, is from persons who are just cruise visitors. So it's a problem. We're working on it. The Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Cooper, I've heard him acknowledge it. and I see him working to get the stopover tour. So I don't get Antoine's point at all. I mean, we don't have, this isn't something we have to debate. It's something we have to work on as a country to get more stopover tourists.
And give them more opportunities on Bay Street. Don't let half of Bay Street be rejuvenated and the other half don't. Revitalize that other half, like Fremont Street in Vegas.
Let's try push for more Bahamians to own Bay Street.
Correct.
Yeah.
The stores on Bay Street, so I can see people I know, people that look like me, people that come, Bahamians.
Bahamian restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good on Bay Street.
But I mean, that's a whole another show for another day. We got so much we could talk about in those areas and revitalizing and getting it to where it needs to be. Because obviously, if the spend of the cruise ship passenger is low in the region, if there are things for them to partake in, the spend will go up. And I mean more than just Junkanoo Beach. No disrespect to Junkanoo Beach, but I mean, there's more opportunities out there for Bahamians to be involved.
I want them to, we prefer the stopover because they buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They go to
comedy clubs.
Comedy clubs. They go to Joker's Wild. They go to different places. They spend money. The cruise ship passengers come in. They walk downtown. They're not going to buy lunch because they may stop.
They're on a meal plan and on a liquor plan on the ship.
That's the ones who actually come in. Don't even touch New Providence or Grand Bahama. And if they do, it's on the tail end of their ship. His dad was a cruise ship captain. He could tell you all about this. We had extensive conversations. At that point, they don't have as much to spend after they've already spent the money in the other islands. So
and what they
we
mostly
need to keep working on it.
is go to our sponsor Dunkin' Donuts and get coffee. They don't, and they go to the jewelry stores. So you're not going to see them in the restaurants, man, because they go back to the cruise ship for all you can eat. So the money is not being spent. It's not being left on the ground.
They have packages that there's food and drinks on the ships now too. So you got a liquor package as well too. So you're not going to really
you spend one certain amount of money, you can drink all you can for 7 days.
Correct.
I've done it.
Okay.
And they'll come off to see something new, and the port is new, so they may come off to see the port. But outside of that,
downtown.
What else is new downtown?
Yeah, we need to do something with downtown.
So, Lonnie, I have a quick question before I have to go. So, which day each week will MJ be on?
She promised me to come on a couple of Thursdays. I'm going to hold her to that.
Okay. Right.
So, I mean,
they have
I can mix it
husband
up.
and wife. They have good chemistry, too. So, when are they going to do this?
Hey, I done heard the part where I fell in love with you when you was across the road.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
I'm removing the blade from my heart now. No, I can throw it out there.
You really was in love with him like that, and he get the guy.
No, man. I know exactly what that means.
Did you right? Did you right? I did.
Hey, this is getting naughty.
So good.
All right, go take it.
That column was so good.
Listen, y'all could ease up now because my text is just blowing right up. Key. Y'all need to. I with Dwight. You need to be on every day.
Oh,
all right. I'll let you finish twist the arm, Dwight. You know, I mean, I'm thinking at least for starters.
I mean, I need to take some pictures. This looks real good on her.
There you go. I would throw out Shaw because she's from Grand Bahama.
Oh, perfect.
And then Thursday, Pearly, Pearly like to don't leave me out.
Hey.
So don't answer it, Pearly.
So we can work it out. We'll figure it out. Tuesday, Thursday,
Friday. 2 years for this. 2 years.
We'll work it out.
It's on you, man. I have nothing to say.
I got it.
Next thing, I don't need no memo saying, look, if we don't see MJ by next week, then, we're going to have to give you a warning slip and blah, blah, blah.
And then a few weeks after that.
I got it.
Lonnie, you don't need to come. MJ and Pearly.
Boy, with friends like you, all who needs animals, I tell you.
Before we get out of here, though, congratulations again, Dwight. I must say that. This is such good work that you guys are doing.
Yes.
Very, very impressed.
Yes.
And thanks to everybody who's been a part of this. We definitely couldn't have made it without all of you, the wonderful crew here, all the hosts who've come through here and are no longer here. We thank you as well. All the sponsors, advertisers, and all of our listeners. Many of whom came out today, Naughty. Tons of people were out there looking for you. Met some of us, said, I didn't know you were this color. I didn't know you were this fat. I didn't know you put on so much weight.
What?
Like all this stuff, all kinds of weird things you've heard today.
People, the pandemic, leave us alone.
For those of you who looked for me earlier, I'm sorry to disappoint, but Dwight can tell you, man, I thoroughly enjoy the fact that I do the school run in the morning and I can catch myself for most of the day before I go to work. It's something that, when I did morning radio for like 16 years, I mean, that you don't think about it. It becomes part of your routine. Boy, when you can get a little sleep and a little rest, and start your day at 4 and then go to Joker's out. Now, you need to come more often because obviously, use the MVP like they say. So let's keep this thing going.
Yep.
I'm trying to go back to morning radio. I'm trying to go back to the morning.
All right, very good, very
I think you
good.
said that enough. Say it one more
I
time.
swear.
I'm trying to go back to morning.
We heard you. We heard you.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
I like sleep. But no, and I like being here, though. I definitely appreciate it. Everybody who chimes into the show for the first hour and for the second hour, especially the second hour. I appreciate y'all because I was really counting on you all to bring it home. There's a little skepticism early on. I don't know if sports can hang, but now sports is the biggest topic. Now you got to talk about make it this run track. Make it.
You know how many
So it's
people
all
have
good.
fussed us for not having sports today?
Yeah.
But maybe tomorrow, we'll see. I might switch up and do 2 hours of sports tomorrow.
I might slide in and help you do it.
Let's have
I
some
might
fun.
chime in.
All
Let's
right.
have some fun, but we'll do it. Appreciate you, Dwight. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having us and making us part of the team, and glad to be on the team. And go Guardian Radio. Here's to another 120 and 12 more years. 112.
112.
Wow.
Hey, that don't mean we can be here.
Right, exactly.
I want to know if you dead and gone, we still here.
Oh, that'd be great.
Guardian Radio, news and views that matter
Hey,
since,
man.
2012.
That's right.
Like how it's 1884,
Exactly.
So there you go.
1844.
44.
But yeah. Fresh News Smart Talk every year. Yes, exactly.
There, man. I appreciate it, man. And everybody for chiming in. Good stuff. Everybody who came out and supported today, all the sponsors, good stuff. We appreciate you and thank you for all the good sentiments. And we'll continue to try and entertain you each and every day from 4 to 6, getting you home and throughout the day right here on Guardian Radio, starting with Dwight.